was a way it was tighter before. Hello, Shaker Heights varsity hockey fans. Welcome back into the Thornton Park Ice Arena for Shaker's final game in their host tournament, the Thornton Park Ice Tournament. Now, Shaker Heights goes into today taking on Walsh Jesuit, but before we get into that, let's give you the recap of what has gone on so far in this tournament, or I suppose the recap of what is happening today in this tournament. Menor already beat Hudson 4-3 to start off the night, or start off the day, as they beat the Explorers in a 4-3 final that gave them the consolation final victory. And then Bowling Green beat Benedictine 5-1, which was just a little extra bonus game. That was basically a who isn't last place game. And luckily for Bowling Green, they were able to take away that victory before that 2-hour drive back home. But what we do have, which has not taken place just yet, is Padua Franciscan against Rocky River. That game is at 5:15 tonight. And Padua Franciscan, after beating Shaker Heights, and Rocky River, after beating Walsh Jesuit, take on each other for the third straight win. We'll see which one can get all 3 straight wins and take home the championship of this Thornton Park tournament. But as we go into today, as mentioned, Shaker Heights lost to Padua. It was a 3-0 final yesterday to bring them into this third place game. For Walsh Jesuit, they lost to Rocky River 8-4 to bring them into this third place game. So Rocky River actually in their third straight championship here in this Thornton Park tournament. But regardless, Walsh Jesuit and Shaker Heights, last time they faced off against each other in this tournament, I believe was the final back in 2021. Shaker Heights lost to Walsh Jesuit 4-0. We'll make sure that that's the correct score, but they did lose to Walsh Jesuit nonetheless. And today, Walsh Jesuit is favored once again. Walsh Jesuit comes into today's game ranked number 15 in the OHSAA state rankings. Shaker Heights all the way back at 20. But as we mentioned in last night's game, how much does ranking really matter? Rocky River was ranked number 19 in these state rankings, and now they're moving forward, beating just about everybody. They beat number 9, Bowling Green, who had actually lost their first 2 games. They beat Walsh Jesuit, who was ranked 4 above them at 15. So how much do these rankings really matter in the early stages of the season? Clearly not a whole lot. But what we can bring into this game is that Walsh Jesuit defeated Shaker Heights 5-3 on November 16th. That was only the second game of the season for Shaker Heights, and it was right here in the Thornton Park Ice Arena. It was a great game from what I hear. Again, it was back here. I was out in Phoenix, so I couldn't catch the game. But Walsh now is 7-4-1 with their finals here in the tournament. So, of course, the win and the loss. Shaker Heights entered in 3-3. Now they're 4-4 with the win and the loss. But in last game, Shaker Heights was able to outdo Padua, and shots on goal. We're looking for that kind of situation once again. Walsh Jesuit losing to Padua earlier this season as well, and we'll see if Shaker Heights can just come out and play the same kind of game that we saw out of them yesterday, but this time actually score some goals. It was great hockey out of Shaker Heights last night. Great pressure, just weren't able to pop one through past Joshua Kustra. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call here in Thornton Park in Shaker Heights, Ohio. We're going to send you down. I'll be on the commentary. 15 minutes up on the clock, symbolizing the start of period number 1. Shaker Heights looking to get back in the win column. They're at that 500 mark. Again, 4-4. We'll see if they're able to get their first win against Walsh Jesuit on the season. Again, they're going to be playing Walsh Jesuit 2 other times after this one at least. They're going to be playing them as a part of the Walsh Jesuit Greg Shoup Memorial Tournament, and then they're also going to be playing them as a part of the Road GLHL game. So this game could mean a lot, but it won't matter into the GLHL standings. That we can confirm. Unless it is a GLHL game in specific, one that counts towards the regular season, it will not add to your GLHL standings. So we'll see. This should just be more so a good preview more than anything else to what is to come down the line. Here we're getting a little bit of a net fixture on Shaker's side. Arios Kaler just waiting for the referee over on that left side. Now we get the referee to blow his whistle. Looks like we are set. Colin Arth, Sebi Juan, Connor Mayhew, your first forward line. One back to the first defensive line, and Cole Richard, Teddy McGinnis joining him. This one's sent all the way back, and here comes the quick shot. It goes wide off to the left. Shaker looking for their first goal in over 45 minutes of ice hockey. Here's Sebi Juan, who's set up at the point as Cole Richard went in to play it more towards the goal line, but now he's going to retreat back, and Juan will switch spots. Here, Bukzak sends this one up. It'll go to number 21, Zabrowski. Or excuse me, Zurakowski. And right now, battle for puck possession. Cole Richard comes out with it. He's up against Eni. But it looks like Eni's squad will get it back, as here's a whiffed shot up at the point. That shot taken from William Shannon. Cole Richard, the captain, wraps it all the way around. The alternate captain leaving it to Sebi Juan. Axel Schneider joining in the play as well, but before he could get to the puck along the blue line, he collapses down to the ice. Here's a shot, blocker save. Here's another opportunity, and Bukzak, the sophomore, on the shot. He was a freshman last year, and he was still doing very, very well last season as well. But Dylan Bukzak unable to tack one on. Here, Shaker Heights ices this one down the length of the ice, and already we're on our second forward line, and that's going to be Gavi Lappin, Axel Schneider, and Elliot Hanna. This one back, and a quick shot off the draw. And able to use his stick to take that one into his crease was Kalerja, so he'll corral it and wait for the whistle. 13:43 left to go in the first period. Her face-off collected by Shaker Heights. Ursepke sends this one around off the backhand. Elliot Hanna fighting to get it back. Ursepke joins in the play as well. Lappin waiting for it to come his way. Vaughn Sprinsel picks it up. This shot blocked by the stick of Lappin. Lincoln Goldstein out there with Ursepke. Ursepke plays the man behind the net. Goldstein now pins the man up against the boards. This one wrapped around. This one trying to find it on net. It'll go wide off to the right. And this one's sent down into the neutral zone. Both Elliot Hanna and Axel Schneider were looking for puck possession. This is going to be a delayed offsides, or at least I had assumed. Nothing ruled by the referee that time. You're pickpocketed in the neutral zone. Max Brokaw trying to get it from Lloyd, and eventually he will with the help of Dylan Ursepke. Now Isaac Lazar, who's also out there with Isaac James as your forward trio. 13 minutes left to go in the first period. Here it's held on to by Noah Hardwick. And with the help of Sprinsel, it goes around, and now here the cross-ice feed. Here Pulley taken down by a collapsing number 25, Graham Borstein. This one sent near side. Isaac James found Isaac Lazar. Lazar with a nifty little move, tried to get it back over to Isaac James. Now Borstein fighting for the puck possession. He'll get it back in the neutral zone. Great work by number 25. This one wrapped around behind the net. Brokaw is going to give chase, but Hardwick will get there first. Behind the net, Hardwick beats Brokaw for the possession. He tries to send it up. Sebi Juan gliding in, trying to get it as his own in the offensive territory. Here Cole Richard works his way in. He'll take the shot, and save is made. Oh, looking for the rebound opportunity, and eventually we'll get the whistle as this one is covered up. Nathan Lombard, your starting goaltender here today for Walsh Jesuit. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call here in Thornton Park for the third place game of Shaker's home tournament. Here Connor Mayhew drops down to take this face off, as Arth will be on the wing. Face off one back to Arth. Arth waits, pulls the trigger, doesn't get through the traffic. And looking for a centering feed, but Juan was tangled up with someone in front of the crease. This one's going to go down the length of the ice, and they will rule it as an icing.
Walsh, icing.
Eni, Zurakowski, and Zabinski as your forward three for Walsh. I suppose Zabinski, excuse me, he's actually the defenseman. Bukzak out there as well. This is the first line of forwards out here. Here the net came out of place and the shot went very astray. Trying to fix the net here is Nathan Lombard. We get a new puck from the scorer's table. This one back to Zabinski. Zabinski puts on the brakes. Juan can't get to him behind the net of Lombard. Here up into the neutral zone. Pressured by two Red Raiders, and the puck will come to a halt at the Red Raider logo along the blue line. Here comes Connor Mayhew up the right wing. Brings it in. Takes the shot. Rebound was given up, but just out of the reach of Sebi Juan. So back the other way. Dylan Bookzak puts on the brakes, sends it around. Cole Richard going to be the first man there. The captain tries to poke it away from Zurakowski, but Zabinski has it up at the point. Richard still fighting to get it in his own possession and clear it away. Eventually, with the help of Versepke, they will. Here, Connor Mayhew off the backhand gives it up to Arth. Great play. This could be a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Arth looking for the shot. He takes it out wide, tries to center it over, but Juan unable to pick it up with the two Warriors in the lane. 10:50 left to go in the first period. This one held by Schneider. Schneider gives it up. Versepke going to rip the shot. Save made by Lombard. Rebound, give it up, but he'll slap the leather down and hold for the whistle. Face-off to come in that Walsh Jesuit side. 10:43 to go in the first period. No score just yet. Last night, same kind of story. It was a 0-0 affair after the first period. But eventually, Pata was able to get one through off the power play. And the reason it ended in a 3-0 final was because of two empty net goals. So the score doesn't look as dominant as it looks too dominant compared to what it actually was. Here the shot from Versepke goes up and into the netting. And once again, we get a new puck from the table. Already running out of pucks out here. We're getting an organ rendition of YMCA as the arena tunes are blaring out here. 10:20 left to go in the first. Here, Walsh Jesuit behind their own net, waiting to clear it away. They're a good hit. Elliot Hanna's going to be the one to pick it up back in that corner with the help of Schneider. They're trying to get it back. Eventually, Versepke's working to get it as well, but now he's got to go back onto his own side on the back check. They're up against Van Tegem. Van Tegem is the one to bring it in. And this one will land right where they need it. Elliot Hanna moving it up the right wing as the rest of his team goes off to get some replacements. Here Reggie Fitzgordon fighting for the puck possession, and in the corner he tries to center it. Nobody home as he's thrown down to the ice. Here Isaac Lazar, Max Brokaw, Reggie Fitzgordon, your line number 3. This one's sent down the length of the ice. And it's going to be an icing on the Warriors. Of course, the Warriors in their all maroon look. Yellow accents, the yellow a bit more prominent than actually their main color of maroon. Much brighter look on the Red Raiders, of course, back in their white and red look. As we have seen all tournament long, that's their home uniform. Here up to the near side, Isaac Lazar tries to deke around and eventually gives it to back. Brokaw! Brokaw's 1-T chance. Save made by Lombard. Here Cam Mayhew launches this one in off the backhand from the neutral zone. 9:15 left to go in the first period. This one trying to go for the slap is Isaac Lazar. You can see the aggressive stick wave through the air. Here Pulley thrown down to the ice here by Borstein. Borstein, Brokaw, Lazar all fighting for that puck possession along the side. Eventually Walsh Jesuit on a great opportunity. Kick save over the left side. Great work by Kalergis. Here the pass up, not able to get through. Fitzgordon that time was looking at Brokaw. This one hits off of a high stick. They don't rule it as a high stick. But as the Red Raiders are all up on their own bench boards, they decided to just go for changes now as opposed to later. Here Richard trying to skate this one up. This is going to be delayed offsides on Walsh, so they take a lazy skate back to the neutral zone. Here Connor Mayhew taking it through his own zone. Why not go up to the neutral zone? He's going to pull the trigger, and it'll go off Zabinski in front of him, going for the center. Nobody home to pick it up. Sebi Juan was just a bit too far away. Connor Mayhew gets it back. Tries to dump this one down. Oh, it went off the inside glass of the bench, and now a man taken from behind. That was Connor Mayhew. No penalty assessed this time. 8 minutes to go in this first period. McGinnis over to Richard. And now it looks like Walsh crying for a penalty here. Arguing for a dirty penalty. Dirty hit. As I believe it was Lloyd who went down along the Walsh Jesuit side. It was right in front of the bench too, so not gonna lie, the Walsh Jesuit coaches did get one of the best looks at it. But we play on. Lappin, Hannah, Schneider, your forward three, Richard and McGinnis, your defensive pairing as well. This one's sticked away. Axel Schneider going to get there first. Schneider tries to center it over, nobody home. Richard going to go for the low percentage chance. You could hear that pound off the blocker, or pound off the pad, I suppose. And this pass off the skate of Eni. Eni sends it over. Zurkowski goes for the shot. Glove snag. Beautiful save out of Kalergis. Eni to Zurkowski on that play. 7:19 remain in the first period. Brokaw to take this face off for Shaker Heights. And he was about to win it back, but the Warrior winger sweeps in. That was the alternate captain, number 21. I believe that is Zurkowski. And indeed, that is the case. Here in the neutral zone, Isaac James sends it through. Now, bad defensive zone turnover by Walsh. This one just unable to be kept in at the point. Cam Mayhew was set up behind the blue line. 7 minutes remain in the first. 0-0 the score. Here Isaac James and Isaac Lazar trying to create the defensive zone turnover, but now Shaker needs to retreat. And as the puck got caught up between Cam Mayhew and Dylan Booksack's sticks, the puck goes flying up and into the bench. Vaughn Sprinsel drops down, and he's up against Colin Arth for the draw. Sprinsel wins this back to the point. Here comes the shot. It won't get through the traffic, but a secondary chance. Sticked away by Kalergis, and this is going to escape out of the zone. Icing will be waved off. Schneider and Juan giving chase. Schneider trying to get there first as he throws number 3. Noah Hardwick off the play. Here an opportunity, trying to bank it off of the back of Lombard, who was sprawled up across his crease. Here Arth against Sprinsel for puck possession. Sprinsel gets it once more. And Walsh Jesuit going to be able to clear it here as Ersepke retreats with Cam Mayhew over to his left. Here comes the shot all the way from the neutral zone. And unbelievable. Goes off of his stick in awkward fashion and snuck through. All the way from outside of the blue line. And that was a fluky play. And it looks like it's going to be the very first goal for Noah Hardwick, who will get the puck from his teammates. And we get a new puck from the scorer's table once more. So Noah Hardwick on the lone goal for Walsh Jesuit. Hopefully that's not going to throw Shaker back too harshly. Here, out of the faceoff, Cole Richards says enough is enough. He's going to try to do it on his own as he'll take it from the corner, tries to center it, nobody home. Lappin and James, both interrupted by Warriors in front of the play. Here, Hannah going to get back to it on the Red Raiders side. That's going to go as an icing on Walsh Jesuit. .551 remain in the first period. This face-off to be taken by Lappin. He's up against number 20, Nathan Van Tegum. This face-off one back to the point. Richard saw the shot and hit his own man up high. That was Isaac James, who was collapsed down onto the ice. Here Cole Richard with the outstretched stick, unable to get there. He's up against Pasix. Richard's still going to get there, sends it over to the far side. McGinnis. Fitzgordon leaves it to Richard. Richard taking it all the way through. Behind the net, tries to center it. Once again, nobody home. 5.5 remain in the first period. We go cross ice to the near side. McGinnis there once again, trying to just poke it forward into the zone. Eventually it's going to go Cole Richard. Richard puts on the accelerator, sends it over, tries to find Fitzgordon. Fitzgordon unable to get anything through. He's behind the net. Once again, nobody home in the slot. Here's McGinnis. McGinnis tries to poke it ahead. Second by Brokaw, but now sent away. There's Nathan Van Tegum. Tries to get over to it, joining the play now. Oh, Good hit here from McGinnis as he throws number 15 off the play, number 15 being Grasha. 4:45 left to go in the first period. Still the battle for puck possession. It looks like they're just going to free this up to the point, and indeed they're going to. Here comes the pull of the trigger and a glove snag from Kalergis, keeping this one a one-goal game with 4:39 left to go in the first. First line forwards out for both sides. Zurkowski to take this face-off up against Colin Arth. This one kept in. It's wrapped around the boards. Dylan or Sepke going to get there first. 4.5 minutes left to go. Axel Schneider, backhand, forehand, sends it up. And now here's Sebi Juan with a shoulder check from behind. We'll see what they officially rule. That was a clean hit. I don't know why that was a penalty. It's a hit from behind. Is that a penalty? Bartley furious. Perhaps a makeup call for earlier. Just playing the man with the puck. But what can you do? Bartley still aggravated, and he's letting the referee hear it. 4:20 left to go in the first period. Here's a 2-minute man advantage coming for the Red Raiders. This one flipped up onto the boards by Sepke and cleared. That'll kill off a couple of seconds, but not many. Here, Axel Schneider pressuring to get the puck back in the offensive zone, but it won't work out. Dylan Buchzak taking it back and up the near side boards. He's able to deke around Sepke, but he's not able to work past Colin Arth, who was working on the back check. Sepke off the backhand, but Eni keeps it in. Now up Arth. Arth able to deke around one man. He unfortunately loses his footing on the contact made with Connor Pulley. And now Zurkowski works through one man, hits the iron. He's able to deke around Sepke once more. 3:35 left to go in the first period. 70 seconds left on the penalty. Here it's up to Eni. Eni rips the shot, tipped, and it'll go wide as Vaughn Sprinsel was trying to draw the contact on the stick that time. Here, pass just fully intercepted by Sepke. Sepke goes down, and this one going to hit the stick off of Colin Arth, and it'll fly up and into the netting. So with 3:20 left to go in this first period, it's a 1-0 score with Walsh Jesuit leading. Shaker will take it and clear it away. Good work by Max Brokaw. 3:10 left to go in the first period. Here comes Walsh Jesuit. Dylan Buchzak dekes around one man. That's Isaac Lazar. Gives it away. Here comes the centering feed. Handled by the stick of Marios Kalergis. 34 seconds left to go in penalty time. For anyone concerned, the Browns are already off to an awful start. Already let a kickoff return go past midfield. Here Shaker dumps this one down. Hopefully a better game coming for Shaker Heights, but right now they are in the losing spot. 20 seconds left to go on Sebi Juan's penalty that, again, no one was exactly satisfied with on the Shaker side. But again, are you ever really going to be satisfied if the penalty goes against you? What can you do? Less than 10 seconds left to go in that penalty time now. Cole Richard tries to send this past Eni. It'll get past Isaac Lazar. Now Cole Richard tries to poke this one up. Sebi Juan creates an opportunity this way. He's pressured by Eni from behind. Juan trying to get this one through, and the save is made by Nathan Lombard. He was pressured to keep it himself due to the great back check out of number 14. That is Eni. Dominic Eni, of course, with the save coming out of Lombard, keeps this at a 1-goal differential. Here Juan takes the angry rip at it right off the draw. He wanted that one back. Here Juan with another opportunity on the backhand. Oh, just cannot get enough on it to actually send it up and through. Here's another opportunity. That time came from Axel Schneider, and it's covered up by Lombard once again. 2:04 left to go. Shaker Heights needs to get these shots elevated. Right now, they're just not letting it happen. And with only a couple moments left in this one, Shaker could really use a goal to take one in to the first intermission. Here, Arth wins this one back. Shot from Mayhew, and it hit the side of the net. Juan sends it near side, or Sepke off the glass and around the boards. Schneider held up along the glass. Here, Juan takes it back. Juan looking for an opportunity. He'll send it up, looking that time for Schneider. Schneider unable to get it back. Here's Lloyd up along the far side. Gets it to Grasha, excuse me. Back up the near side. Colin Arth coming along, looking for a centering feed. Nobody open, so behind the net. Eventually, it goes back up to the centering spot. Isaac Lazar. A little bit of stick contact off of Lloyd. That one will go up and into the netting. .84 seconds left to go in the first period. Behind the net, picked up. Isaac Lazar. Lazar was trying to give it off to McGinnis over at the blue line. Not enough communication on that one. And there's a clear high sticking up high on Cole Richard, but no penalty assessed that time. Here, Max Brokaw up along the blue line. Brokaw looking for an opportunity off the backhand, and it'll go wide off to the right side. Less than a minute left to go in the first period. 1-0, Walsh leading. Here, centering pass, nobody home, so it'll go all the way to the far side boards. Brokaw trying to take it back for an offensive zone turnover. Here, Cole Richard pushes Pulley off the play, and in doing so, the puck will just glide right into the grasp of Kalergis. Face off to the left side of Kalergis. It's going to be Arth to take the draw. Schneider's over to his right here. The centering pass. Secondary chance here for Buczak. Nothing doing, as no one exactly knew where the puck was for a moment there. Sepke attempting to clear it. This one dumped back into the near side corner of Shaker's zone. Mayhew banks it off the boards that time. Was looking for a better bounce over to Schneider, but instead Walsh is going to get it back in their own zone. Juan, Arth, Schneider, your forward three at the current point. Here Cam Mayhew. Mayhew goes for this one, and it just flies over the crossbar. Shaker will get it back. 10 seconds left to go in the first period. Sebi Juan waits, holds, tries to give it over to Axel Schneider, but instead here's a breakaway chance the other way. 4 seconds left to go. Here comes the shot, and it's scored in with a second left on the clock here in the first period. Something of note, we haven't seen Connor Mayhew in a second here. So Dylan Buczak entering into his sophomore year once again. Off to a solid start against Shaker. Same thing we saw last season. And now as the puck is dropped, that just is just going to be 1 second of everybody standing there. And we go into our first intermission with Shaker Heights down in the third place game. 2-0 is your score after the first 15, 30 minutes more to come. We'll see if Shaker Heights can respond. Again, they have now not scored in their last 60 minutes of hockey. We'll see what they can do when we come back. Vaughn Ullum on the call here from Thornton Park. Hello, Shaker Heights varsity hockey fans. Welcome back into the Thornton Park Ice Arena. Shaker Heights getting things set. They're down 2-0. We're going to need to keep it quick here, but Shaker Heights, we're seeing Connor Mayhew back out there on the ice with the first line, and right now the stats are as follows. Right now, Shaker Heights has a lot more shots attempted. They're winning by 6, 21-15. Shots on goal, however, they're down by 2, so just more accuracy on the shots. Shaker Heights can find themselves back in this game. They're down 2 as we go into the second period of the third place game here at Thornton Park. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Let's get you down. Right now, Shaker losing the face-offs by 1. It's 11-10, so nothing too crazy. Here, Vaughn Sprinsel sends this over to the winger, and oh my goodness gracious, sent it all the way into the back of the net, right off the rip. Unbelievable. That was Warner Lloyd to just launch it all the way from the red line of center ice. 3 seconds taken off the clock. That's got to be the quickest goal I've ever commentated in a Shaker Heights High School game. Wow, so 3-0 is in the blink of an eye your score. So with Warner Lloyd's goal, it's all 3 goals from 3 different guys on Walsh Jesuit. Shaker Heights just looking for their first goal of the afternoon. This cross-ice feed goes all the way to Cole Richard. And this one dumped on down. That's going to be an icing. Man, so that just kind of came out of left field. 3-0, Walsh Jesuit in the lead. Shaker Heights, their forwards, their defensemen talking to Kalair, just saying, it's all right, just keep your head up. Lappin to take this draw to the right side of Kalergis. Hopefully Kalergis won't get too in his head about that one. Of course, yes, it is a bad mistake to make. Hopefully he can learn from the mistake and keep pushing forward. Dominic Eny goes to the center where Dylan Bookzak is up against Elliot Hanna. Giving chase on this one is Axel Schneider, putting on the brakes that time as number 42. Now here a great centering feed, and once again out of the reach of Axel Schneider. Lappin was looking to Schneider here for the assist, and now that centering feed gets past Isaac Lazar. Kept in by Ersepke for an extra second. Cleared away? No, Ersepke swings by once again, keeps it in. Now Walsh Jesuit will have an easy opportunity to clear this one to the neutral zone. Between the blue lines, Cam Mayhew's just going to send this one on net, but it gets a little piece of the glove of Lombard. Here Ersepke back with it at the point. He's pickpocketed from behind here by Dominic Eny. Eny sending this one up to Bookzak. The sophomore on the first line. Trying to get something going. This one poked away. Trying to get over to it now as Ersepke kicked away by Isaac James. James trying to move it forward with the help of Isaac Lazar. Oh, that's not the play. Both Isaac James and Isaac Lazar were going for the play that time, but in doing so, it was turned over. Here Cam Mayhew taken down to the ice by Dominic Eny. No call. This one is just going to be launched all the way down. This will be an icing on Shaker Heights. 13:06 left to go in this second period, and what is a 3-0 game now. Face-off taken by Hardwick. Hardwick with the first goal of the game for Walsh Jesuit. Here's a secondary opportunity. Rebound chance almost given up to Warner Lloyd. Here's Connor Mayhew. Mayhew just going to rip the shot right at Nathan Lombard. Easy save made. 12:54 remaining in the second period. Shaker down 3. On defense now, Graham Borstein. On the far side point, McGinnis set up closer to us. Pulley taking it out. Near side, Lloyd. Lloyd back, Pulley. They're out there with Sprinsel. McGinnis didn't know the puck was coming his way, and so he overskated it. Walsh Jesuit almost with a good opportunity to capitalize on another chance. Here's Arth. Arth sends it cross ice, finds Connor Mayhew. Mayhew taking it up through center ice. Here comes the shot from Arth. It goes wide, kept in. Oh, actually taken in by Warner Lloyd. Now here to Vaughn Sprinsel. Sprinsel looking for the opportunity. Here's the wraparound. Save made. And here's Sebi Juan going to be able to get this one back. He's just going to flip this one forward. Not exactly sure that was the intended move that time. Here Arth battling for the puck possession once again. Connor Mayhew swoops in to try and make something happen. He'll put it out in front, and the shot goes through here from Elliott Hanna, but it'll go wide. Maybe got a save made on that one. Here Cole Richard, the captain, sends this one up as, oh, taken down is Connor Mayhew in the neutral zone. He's going to go off for a change after that collision. Here Lincoln Goldstein ties up a man along the far boards. Here's Cole Richard skating it up. Takes a man down as he gets in his way. And there, a good hit on Van Teegem. Goldstein able to keep this one in. Goldstein on the backhand moves it to forehand, tries to keep it in Shaker Heights possession. Here's Goldstein once again. This is just going to go wide. Here Lappin fighting for it again. Here kept in at the blue line. Goldstein for an extra second. Here's Pasick. Pasick tries to take it through the neutral zone, but pickpocketed. Here Richard on the shot, and he scores! And Cole Richard with goal number 1 for the Red Raiders. 11 minutes left to go in this second period of play. We'll see if they're able to take this and crawl into a good comeback. Your forwards, Lazar, Brokaw, Fitzgordon. The face-off going to be taken by Zurakowski and Brokaw. Won by Zurakowski back into the Walsh Jesuit side. And in the neutral zone, Fitzgordon sends this one up and into the air. This one dumped on down in the Walsh Jesuit side. Here Fitzgordon. Fitzgordon tries to center it over. Nobody home as Isaac Lazar was moving his way deep into the slot. Here's Zurakowski. Drops it off. Finds his man Booksack. Booksack. Shot, save made. Rebound, give it up. And Fitzgordon back with it. Trying to clear it away, and indeed they're going to. Out into the neutral zone. Lazar tries to kick it back into the Red Raiders side, and indeed they're going to. That pass to Isaac Lazar misses the mark. Behind the net. Oh, we heard it get a little piece of iron. Not entirely certain what happened there. And Walsh Jesuit with another goal that comes in from being right in front of the net. So that extends it back into a 3-goal lead with 10:10 left to go in the second. Already 3 goals, not even 5 minutes into this second period. So now the Red Raiders, once again, needing to make up for the damage put against them. Connor Mayhew sends this one cross ice, hits off the stick of Cole Richard. Referee saw it, blew the play dead. Here Richard thrown into those corner boards. Great aggressive play that time from the alternate captain, Connor Mayhew, who was set up at the point. He'll hold Sprinsel there for an extra moment in the neutral zone and gives time for his back check to come in for support. 9:40 left to go in the second period. This one launched around the boards. Von Sprinsel off the backhand, working with Pulley, trying to get something going now here. Zabinski with Juan. Juan gets it, and if that had connected with Cole Richard, would have been a 2-on-1 with Richard and Mayhew. Unfortunately not the case. Juan tries to swoop in and make a play as well. Juan in the neutral zone, gets it to Connor Mayhew. Mayhew skating it up. Mayhew takes the rip at it, and the save is made by Nathan Lombard. 9:11 left to go in the second. Shakers had a good amount of opportunities. Just haven't been able to cash in. Their shots just not as highly contested. And so Walsh Jesuit up to Pasick. Pasick tries to find Van Teegen up the near side wing. No connection there as Elliott Hanna tries to get it through the blue line of the neutral zone. Sent back to Pasick. Pasick gives it up. Number 3 that time, that's Hardwick. Again, the first goal of the game coming from that guy, number 3, who now holds it at the corner. Puts on the brakes, but Schneider able to stick to him like glue. Schneider, and now 3 different Red Raiders trying to keep it up along that side of the ice. Goldstein now joins the play in the neutral zone. Here Lappin lays a hit down in the neutral zone and then immediately hops off for a change. He did his job. Goldstein or Sepke, the duo on defense. Brokaw, James, and Lazar, the 3 forwards, out for Shaker currently. Centering pass, nobody home. And Walsh Jesuit going to be able to clear this one through. So all the way to Dylan Orsepke on the Red Raiders side. This pass goes only to Hardwick on the opposite side from right to left. This is going to be definitely offsides. I don't know how they don't rule that, and eventually they are going to give a late whistle. 7:56 left to go in the second period. We're nearing the midway mark. One goal is really all Shaker needs to get back into this game. But that's what we said moments ago, and Walsh Jesuit was quick to respond. Here, McGinnis launches this one down the ice. It's going to just go wide of Lombard's net. And for an icing on the Red Raiders. 7:44 to go in the second. 4-1 remains your score with Walsh Jesuit on top. Here on the road, Walsh Jesuit looking for that 3rd place. Yeah, we mentioned earlier these 2 squads played each other, and actually that was 2021. Walsh Jesuit beat Shaker Heights in the championship game. That was back when guys like Tyler Lensowitz, Jack Camp, Sammy Gerber, that was your first line, and a great first line it was. They were all playing in that game against Walsh Jesuit, but Walsh Jesuit was able to, as mentioned, get that 4-goal victory, 5-1. Here's centering pass. This is a great opportunity for Cole Richard, and a glove save made by Lombard. Just taking these shots too close to the body of Lombard, not exactly placing them throughout the net. And Lombard left with some seemingly easy saves. So we're past now the halfway mark. 7:10 left to go in the second period. Taking this face to the left side of Lombard. It's 11 against 11. Walsh Jesuits Vaughn Sprinsel to win the draw. Connor Pulley, Vaughn Sprinsel. Vaughn Sprinsel with a great opportunity on the shot. Pounding off the blocker. Good save. Made by Kalergis. Now here comes Cole Richard skating his way through. Great moves from Cole Richard. And that's what I was talking about in yesterday's game. He is the best offensive defenseman that we see. And so that's now 2 goals from Cole Richard, the defenseman, cutting this lead back down to 2. That was a nifty move out of Cole Richard. Exactly what we needed to see to bring the Red Raiders back into position. 2 goals versus 3 goals seems a lot different of a game. Brokaw back between the blue lines. He'll take it over to the far side. He's just going to decide to rip this one, but it hit a stick out in front of him. Connor Mayhew, Isaac Lazar fighting to get this one back. It'll bank off the glass. The defensive pairing currently Graham Borstein and Cam Mayhew. Number 13 of Walsh skating this one through. Takes the shot up and over into the glass. Here's another opportunity. Rebound was given up, but nobody there to bury it through. So we go all the way back. Here's Isaac Lazar. Lazar going to rip this shot. Rebound is given up. Lombard uses the stick to just send it behind his net. Walsh Jesuit takes it back. Here Van Teegen loses it in the slot. Here's Connor Mayhew. Mayhew through the 5-hole of one of the men in front of him. The Warrior goaltender. Lombard pokes it away. Here's Cam Mayhew, and using the stick that'll go up and into the netting, out of play. 5:55 left to go in this second period. So a couple of odd, fluky goals put Walsh Jesuit in this position. He had a goal that snuck through the stick of Kalergis, a save that should have had, and then a shot all the way from the red line of center ice that also snuck through somehow.
Icing.
And here Walsh Jesuit gonna ice this one down the length of the rink. .5:45 remaining in the second period. Time for Shaker Heights to cut this deficit down to 1. This pass goes cross ice. Orsepke on a hard shot. Rebound given up, secondary chance. James tries to get it on net. Then it goes to Lappin, who tries on the backhand. Here Hannah behind the net. Shaker Heights pressuring, and they're pressuring well. A lot more sustained pressure in these last few moments. Here is James. James tied up along the boards. Here Lappin decides to join, and Orsepke gonna try to just dump this one around. Finds Hannah. Hannah tries to center it back. Referee right where he shouldn't be, and Hannah will get it back. This one poked away right in front of the net of Lombard. Lappin takes it back, tries to find James, won't connect. Here goes Dominic Eny. Eny just dumps this one down. That's gonna be an icing on Walsh Jesuit again. Well, while the Browns may be down by 14, Shaker only down by 2. This is very much still a reachable game for them to crawl back into. As mentioned, a goal before intermission, however, would be huge. Walsh Jesuit right now just working to clear it away. And here it's with Warner Lloyd. And indeed, as he gets it up to Von Sprinsel, it will clear away. But here the captain, Cole Richard, loses this one. Pulley on the shot. And the save made by Kalergis. Big time save in a big time moment. And this one's sent up. Axel Schneider. Schneider gives it back over to Richard. Richard already has 2. Will he go for the hat trick? He will, but it'll hit the man out in front of him. Now is Grasha. Richard against Sprinsel here in the neutral zone. Arth going to take it on back. Arth loses this one over to the right side. Here's Axel Schneider. Schneider unsure of what to do with it. Back Arth. Arth tries to center it back over to Schneider, who was working his way from the corner into the slot. Unable to connect, and here's Schneider on a hit in front. Here McGinnis behind the net of Kalergis, back in the Red Raiders side here across ice feed. Not sure who the intended target exactly was that time. Cole Richard with a nifty move around Teddy McGinnis, his own man. Here he tries to split through 2 guys. Clear trip out of Cole Richard, and he collides with the net. Not sure how that is not a penalty. Walsh Jesuit yet to get a penalty, I believe. So now we'll see a different forward line once again. Head coach Matt Bartley trying some different lines before we hit the second intermission. So it's going to be Connor Mayhew at center, and on the wings, Max Brokaw and Isaac Lazar. Brokaw pushed off the play here. Cam Mayhew tries to keep it inside. It's going to be onside, but it doesn't matter. Zurakowski breaks through Cam Mayhew, gets the centering feed, goes off the outside of the post there on the left side. Trying to center it back over is Isaac Lazar. Lazar tried to find Brokaw. It'll get off of his stick and into the defenseman of Walsh Jesuit. So Jesuit back the other way. Here, taken down to the ice is Cam Mayhew. Here comes the shot through. Rebound given up. Would have been a wide open opportunity that time. 3:20 left to go in the second. Here comes the pass, and thrown off the play that time. Isaac Lazar, incidental contact. Here's the 2-on-1. Dominic Eny looking to center it over to Bookzak. But with the back check of Dylan Orsepke, no connection is made. Isaac Lazar leaving this one to Connor Mayhew. Mayhew sending it through the neutral zone. He's still got it on his stick. He'll go for the goal, and it'll hit the side of the net. Now sends it up in front to Isaac Lazar. Mayhew on a secondary chance. Kick save by Lombard with the right pad. Here Hardwick, first goal scorer of the game, behind the net of Walsh Jesuits Lombard. Here Dylan Bookzak sends this one up. Finds Zurakowski. Zurakowski on a 2-on-1. But good pressure that time by McGinnis. Great defensive work. Brokaw sending this one up. He'll get it back, however, and just dump this one down as he hops off for a change. So will Connor Mayhew, Cole Richard, and Teddy McGinnis remaining out there. The forwards going to be Isaac James who takes the shot here, and Elliott Hanna was going in for a rebound opportunity. Here, a centering feed. Here's another opportunity. Just unable to sneak it on through. 2:10 left to go in the neutral zone. Man, oh man, Walsh Jesuit continues to try and move in transition. Shaker will just not let him through. Isaac James tries to lay the body in the neutral zone. Here, Lappin gets tangled up with Nathan Van Tegem. Here, Isaac James tries to center it over to Lappin. Lappin on the backhand, can't get it through, and Lappin sent right into the net. And it looks like Lappin is down. But now he'll get up, take a slower skate back over to the Red Raider bench. And we'll get a penalty on Zabinski. That is a tough defenseman to lose, arguably the best on this Walsh Jesuit team. 109 seconds remain in this second period, so if they don't get anything here, 11 seconds will carry over on the power play into that third and final period. Keep in mind, we're only in the second period. It feels like a lot of ice hockey has gone on by, hasn't it? Vaughn Sprinsel up against Axel Schneider. Schneider to take the draw, but it'll be won back by Sprinsel. Are they able to clear it away? They might be able to, but Cole Richard, the captain, able to keep it in. Up against Sprinsel, and Axel Schneider is going to try to take a rip at it. It'll hit off of the stick of Connor Pulley. Pulley sends this one down. 1:30 left to go in this second period of play. 4-2, Walsh Jesuit in the lead. But they got the rest of this period on the power play. Here's Colin Arth, able to take this one through. He'll wait, hold, get it back up. Cole Richard. Richard just decides to take the rip at it in the slot. Cole Richard going to be able to get it back for an extra second. Vaughn Sprinsel going to look for a shorthanded opportunity on a breakaway. Sprinsel going to beat out Cole Richard, goes for the shot, but save is made. A minute left to go. Shaker Heights on the power play. Cole Richard skating it through his own zone. Looks like he's just going to go for the whole skate through the neutral zone, but he'll drop it off at the point to Connor Mayhew. Mayhew finds Juan. Juan goes for the rip, and it's right at the crest of Nathan Lombard. Again, placement of shot has not exactly been the strength of this Shaker Heights team. It has more so felt like Shaker is flinging it at the net for the sake of getting a shot on goal. And now it looks like Shaker Heights actually going to get timeout here with 49 seconds left to go. So we're going to step aside as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Rest of this period goes to power play. You can imagine that's why the timeout was taken. Coach wants to draw something up or at least just talk to his players. Out of the timeout, Shaker Heights with 49 seconds of power play set for the remainder of the second period. Who we have out there? Cole Richard, the one defenseman. On offense, you have the first line of Colin Arth, Sebi Juan, and Connor Mayhew, but taking the draw here is actually the sophomore Isaac Lazar. Here, Cole Richard. Along the point, he'll skate it into the center of the blue line. Connor Mayhew centers it over, tried to find Sebi Juan. Juan will get it right back onto his stick. He'll leave it to Connor Mayhew, almost. lost control of that one. Here Cole Richard takes the rip, and once again the save is made with 33 seconds left to go. Shaker taking shots from a little too far out wide, not exactly allowing any rebound opportunities to go their way. Not allowing any tips out in front exactly either, but I guess that is what they're hoping for. Here a clearing attempt. Cole Richard going to try to keep it in for an extra second, but instead it's poked away by Dominic Eni. Here Connor Mayhew. Mayhew gives it up. Cole Richard. Richard through the neutral zone. Here he goes for a skate. 20 seconds left to go. He's got the 2 lone goals for Shaker Heights. Tries to center it over. Grasha is there first. 13 seconds left to go. This one going to escape past Kalair. Just 9 seconds left to go. This one wrapped around the boards. Are they going to go for one last attack? They won't exactly be able to as Dominic Eni gets it back here. 2 seconds left to go. He'll rip the shot, but it'll hit off a Red Raider in front. So 11 seconds of power play going to carry over. And that is the end of the second period. So we went in a 2-goal deficit. We leave it in a 2-goal deficit. Still the same way. It's 4-2 now with Walsh Jesuit in the lead here in the third place game. Shaker Heights very much in this one. We'll see if they can come back and get something going in that third and final period. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be right back with you for the final frame of 15 minutes. Hello, Shaker Heights varsity hockey fans. Welcome into the final period of play for Shaker Heights, or at least of regulation for Shaker Heights in this Thornton Park tournament. Shaker Heights enters into this third period down 2. Same thing as how we left the first period. There it was 2-0, now it's 4-2. So Shaker Heights at least was able to get that even second period, and they were able to tack on 2 goals, both coming from the defenseman Cole Richard, who had a great shot on him there in that second period. But right now, here's how the stats are looking. Right now, Shaker Heights leads in shots attempted and shots on goal, 41-26 in shots attempted, 26-21 in shots on goal. Shaker actually doubled up Walsh Jesuit in shots on goal in that second period, 14-7. But here's the problem. Shaker Heights continues to take these shots from way downtown, way out wide, as if they were going for a 3-point shot. It's kind of that same equivalent. The difference is Shaker Heights is not really capitalizing on any of those out wide shots, and that leaves them with only a 2 up on the board. And Cole Richard, who was actually able to get his goals by taking it in to the lane and popping them in that way. We'll see if that's something that maybe the coach stressed to them, or maybe something as a team that they are figuring out. But regardless, Shaker Heights needs to take things up and closer to the crease of Nathan Lombard, who is having a good day in the crease for the name of Walsh Jesuit. Right now, Shaker Heights is just losing the face-off total, 20-19, but they tied it up there in that second period. It was 9-9 in that category, so nothing really too crazy there. Shaker Heights goes into this second period with 11 seconds on the power play. We'll see what they can do in those first couple of moments. As we send it down to the ice, Shaker Heights down 4-2 is your score. 15 minutes left to go in this one. And indeed, Zabinski opening back up his penalty box. He'll spend 11 seconds in the sin bin. We'll see if he even decides to sit down. Looks like he won't. Colin Arth to take the draw. To his left is going to be Connor Mayhew. To his right is going to be Sebi Juan. An offensive pairing, Teddy McGinnis and Cole Richard. Not even enough time to put out a fourth forward. In lieu of a second defenseman. So here, 11 seconds of power play. Shaker down 2. Let's see what they can do. Face off. Kicked back by Colin Arth. Cole Richard takes it back. 8 seconds left to go on the power play. They'll send it up to McGinnis. McGinnis loses it between his skates. Connor Mayhew. Mayhew leaves it to Arth. Arth looking for something here. He'll center it himself. Take the shot, kick, save. We're back to even strength. Cole Richard bats this one out of the air, keeps it in for just a moment, but Connor Pulley takes it through the zone, looks for something here, just barely onside. Sebi Juan able to take this one out. Here's Colin Arth. Arth and Mayhew skating it through. Mayhew goes for the shot from out wide, and it got through. So Connor Mayhew, the alternate captain, even though it wasn't on the power play early in this one, will pop one in. And the score is now 4-3. That is a big-time goal from Connor Mayhew. Must have snuck through the 5-hole of Nathan Lombard, and now it's a 1-score game. Not exactly sure if we would have an overtime or if we would just call this one quits after regulation. Here, Lappin, Hanna, Schneider. Your forward 3. This one hit by the stick and sent into the near side by Kalergis. Eni, Bukzak out there as forwards. Zurakowski as well. That's the first line for Walsh Jesuit. Here, Eni goes for the shot, and that snuck through in the same regard. Got to tell you, Shadur Sanders made a great play, but I fear whenever something good is happening for the Raiders, something bad's happening for the Browns and vice versa. 5-3, your score goes back to a 2-goal differential. Man, Kalair just having a rough go in net today. That is now 3 goals that Kalair just really should have had. So Dominic Eni with his second goal of the afternoon. Here, Lappin skating this one from blue line to blue line. Through the neutral zone, he'll drop it off Hanna. Hanna goes for the shot. That went wide off to the left side. Here, Gracia. In the neutral zone, loses this one. Could not pick up the pass cleanly. Lappin goes for the shot, hits off the glass behind the net. Elliot Hanna collapses down to the ice as he tried to make the play on it. Here, Sepke played it a bit too aggressive. Van Teegum with the opportunity on the shot, but Lappin on the back check gets his stick right in front of the shot, and it goes up and into the netting. .34 left to go in the third period. Shaker Heights down by 2 goals. Brokaw dropping down to take this face off up against Connor Pulley. Brokaw wins it back to Graham Borstein. This one's wrapped around. Warner Lloyd going to get there first. Pickpocketed from behind. Connor Pulley gets it back here with the use of the stick. Kaler just sends this one out of the crease. Banked off the boards, was looking to get it past number 42. Set up at the point. This one, butterfly save made by Kalergis. Brokaw to take this face off again. It's 11 against 11. He was up against Vaughn Sprinsel. Taking this out of the scrum is Cole Richard. Richard leaving it. Mayhew to Lazar. Lazar takes the shot, and once again, just right at the Walsh Jesuit crest of the jersey. Here, Pulley the other way. Pulley looking for a shot. Pickpocketed from behind. Cole Richard, great play out of the junior. Now we go cross ice. Connor Mayhew with a burst of speed. Looking to split the defenseman, now take the shot, and this one save made. And this one's going to clear out of the zone. Oh, that's gotta hurt. The Walsh Jesuit man down on his own side of the ice. He went head first into the boards, and he is clearly in pain. We're going to get the trainer out there. We'll step aside. Vaughn Sprinsel able to make his way back to the Walsh Jesuit bench on his own feet. Trainer Jordan going to follow, make sure everything's all right. So the puck was in the neutral zone as that play was made. So they'd have the face-off right on the red line of center ice. Connor Mayhew tries to give it over to Sebi Juan. Nothing doing. Here, Colin Arth behind the net. Back Sebi Juan. Juan to Mayhew right out in front. Juan looks for a rebound opportunity. Lombard makes both saves. 12-10 left to go. Walsh Jesuit up by 2. And in the neutral zone, this can create a 3-on-1 if they hurry. Eni looking for a hat trick, can't get one going as he's pickpocketed from behind. Connor Mayhew gets it back. Mayhew tries to send it up to Sebi Juan. It's out of his reach. 12 minutes left to go in the third and final frame of the game. Right here in front, puck still loose. Connor Mayhew tried to scoop it up in the slot. It's kept in by Goldstein. Goldstein sends this into the corner. It's Goldstein and Orsepke, your defensive pairing. Goldstein keeping it in. Arth takes Eni off the play. And now this one is wrapped around, and that'll clear all the way down, which we can assume will be an icing. Eni going to get there first, but in high school, that don't matter. The wingers going to be Lazar and Schneider. Max Brokaw to take this face-off. He'll win it against Connor Pulley here. Taking the rip at it was Cam Mayhew, but it hit the stick of Grasha out in front of him. Here Borstein trying to get there from the point. Yelled at by the head coach Matt Bartley to go get it. Eventually he did, but it was just too late. So now here right outside of that blue line, we go to the neutral zone and retreat all the way back into the Red Raiders side. This one right off the stick of Axel Schneider and into the boards. Less than 11 minutes to go now in the third period. Warner Lloyd, he's got a goal in this one as well. This one going to go off the stick of Grasha, and as it goes all the way down, we'll get the whistle. Icing is the call. Grasha, Pulley. Zabinski out there as well for Walsh Jesuit. Here Pulley to take the draw. He'll win it over to his side where Zabinski resides. He's throwing Elliott Hanna down, but Shaker gets it anyway. Here the centering feed goes nowhere except for to the point where Cole Richard sends it back along. Isaac James. James sends it around as well. Elliott Hanna throwing a man off the play. One of the Warriors along the far side boards. Here's Zabinski, or excuse me, Lloyd try to take it back here. This one's going to be onside. Isaac James pressuring to get the puck back in the offensive zone. But Walsh once again will clear with Connor Pulley. Pulley off the back end. We'll just dump this one through, and he'll hop off for a change. Here, pass right out in front. He was looking for Zabinski. The defenseman trying to make his way forward. Here, Cole Richard moving it up. He'll leave it. But it'll get back over to him with the help of McGinnis. McGinnis and Richard, the two, trying to make an offensive attack happen. Here's Connor Mayhew in the mid-slot, trying to get the puck back. Here's Sebi Juan. Juan over to the side for Richard, and they're unable to connect on the pass. Here a man taken down, and ooh, collision over there in the corner boards. McGinnis just trying to get untangled with Zurakowski on the other side. The other number 21, Colin Arth, trying to center it over to Mayhew. And it looks like the save was made. Maybe couldn't get a clean shot away. Mayhew with a good stick lift forces Grasha to just dump this one on down. Warner Lloyd giving chase to Cole Richard. Richard can't shake him. And it can't even clear the zone. But with the help of Arth, they'll get it done. Here's Juan up the right wing. Juan looking to do it on his own, but he'll lose the puck up against number 23, Zabinski. This one launched all the way down by Cam Mayhew, took a bounce off the ice, and it'll just be covered up here by Nathan Lombard. 8:47 left to go in this one. Shaker down by 2, 5-3 being your score. That was the final the last time these two squads played. Brokaw, Schneider, Lazar to his sides. This one won back by Connor Pulley. Pulley behind the net. Waits, sends it down. Orsepke tried to pick it up in the neutral zone, but it missed the mark, and so it'll just go all the way down for the icing. 8:34 left to go. We'll stick with the same forwards. We'll stick with the same defensemen. No changes, I believe, for either side. I mean, why would you? They were only out there for an extra 5 seconds more. Brokaw getting this over to the winger. Isaac Lazar tries to flip it on the backhand. And he'll get it back to try to center it, or Sepke's going to be the man to pick it up along the near side board, so he'll get it Brokaw. Brokaw goes for the shot. It'll go wide to the right, 8:20 to go in the third period. Schneider behind the net, looking for someone to center it over to. And instead of freeing it out to the point, he tried the contested pass over to Max Brokaw, but it creates a 3-on-2 this way. Here's Eni looking for the hat trick. He's one away. Tries to center it over to Zurakowski. Can't connect. Back point. Point goes to Zabinski. Zabinski pulls the trigger, hit the man right out in front, and that was Zurakowski. Here's Cam Mayhew. Mayhew sends it around the boards. First man there is Isaac Lazar. He'll just poke this one forward and into the neutral zone. Here comes the shot. Easy stick save. Shot coming from all the way at the red line of center ice, so not exactly a high percentage shot, but we saw it work earlier. We're halfway through this third and final period of play. Zabinski keeps this one in, tries to get it up to Dominic Eni. Eni tries to center it, but instead it'll hit the side of the net. He's still pressured by Sepke and Brokaw behind the net. Dylan Bookzak. Dylan Bookzak banks it off the near side boards. Eni held up by both Sepke and Brokaw, which almost allowed for a good pass. Here's Connor Mayhew the other way. Connor Mayhew waits, tries a centering feed. It'll go behind the net as it hit the man in front of him. Here Isaac Lazar goes for a shot. Also creeping in to try and pull the trigger was Cole Richard. Richard and McGinnis, the two on defense. Connor Mayhew will remain out, but Colin Arth and Sebi Wan going to join him. Getting onside, here comes Cole Richard. Richard tries to dangle around one man, but Arth is going to get there, tries to center over to Connor Mayhew, but instead it'll go to Zurakowski. Zurakowski skates it out with Werner Lloyd behind him, but he'll just rip the shot. It'll go wide off to the left. Will it be kept in? Yes, indeed, by Nathan Van Teegen. Van Teegen waits, unable to get quality chance here to try to steal it away. This one going to go down the length of the ice, and they're going to roll a whistling here on an icing here on Shaker. Vaughn Sprinsel, the captain, out of his meeting with the trainers. We'll see if he comes back out into the play. 6:20 to go in the third. Face off one back by Gavi Lappin. And Shaker Heights trying to maintain possession and clear it out. Get an offensive attack the other way. Right now they're still down by 2. Here's an opportunity. That time for number 28, that was Werner Lloyd, who already has a goal in this one for Walsh Jesuit. Here Van Teegen leaves it. Connor Poley. Poley's just going to take it himself. The save is made along that far side post. So here's Axel Schneider. Schneider will send it all the way out to Elliot Hanna, who's along the other blue line. He'll take the shot from the blue line. Gavi Lappin going to get there first to try and get it back. Schneider keeping it in Red Raider possession for an extra second. Elliot Hanna going to get there as well. Hanna and Lappin going to give chase. While Schneider went off for the change. Here, Dominic Eni tries to get it past Connor Mayhew. Mayhew says, no, thank you. I'll take that as my own. Mayhew going to drop this back off to the point. Cole Richard. Richard tries to send it cross ice to Arth. Won't connect. Here, Juan goes for the shot. It'll hit off of the other 19 on the ice. That's Connor Poley. Colin Arth now in the corner. He's up against number 42, Grislow. Mayhew gets it back in the slot, tries the shot here, a secondary opportunity. He can't make good contact, and Sebi Juan needs to let this one go for the cover-up for Nathan Lombard. So we get a quick change. First line forwards were not out there for too long for the Red Raiders, nor was Goldstein or his co-defenseman. So we get back out there, or I suppose Goldstein was out there with Richard. Richard does remain out. 5:04 remaining. Brokaw loses this one back as Zabinski will take it off the draw. Here Brokaw with the offensive zone turnover, tries to get another opportunity. Is Isaac Lazar. But Dylan Bookzak, the sophomore, going to be able to skate it through the neutral zone. Here he comes, trying to do it all on his own. Gets it past Teddy McGinnis, blocker save on what was almost a very brief breakaway. Here's Zabinski with the shot, blocker save. Kalair just once again. Cole Richard Holds it behind the net of Kalair, just wraps it around for Schneider. Schneider can't keep it along the boards. Cole Richard tries to poke it up and create a 2-on-1. And eventually, it looks like we might get one if he's able to get the burst of speed. Here he's tripped up. No penalty that time as he's able to get it right back. Takes the shot, hits it right off the man in front of him. And here he goes to Brokaw out in front as Brokaw is sent down from behind. Schneider able to keep this one in at the point. Moving it forward past Bookzak. Brokaw joining the play to try and help out and get puck possession back to the Red Raiders. Brokaw over Lazar. Lazar McGinnis. McGinnis goes for the rip. Blocker save. Cole Richard was set up to try and take a rebound from out wide, but it just took an awkward bounce off the blocker. He couldn't get a shot away. We go back to the near side. Isaac Lazar tries to rip another shot. Won't work out. Zurkowski sends it off the boards. Good outlet pass that time as they try to get it to Dominic Eney, his co-first line forward. Here's Schneider. Schneider taking his time. He'll wait up as Teddy McGinnis flies in to find Brokaw. Brokaw on the shot. It'll hit the man in front of him. 3.5 left to go in the third period. Ursepke trying to scoop this one back up in Red Raider territory. He finds McGinnis along the near side. First line forwards back out there. This will hit off the glass and wrap all the way around. First man there is going to be Colin Arth. Arth behind the net. Looking for a man to give it up to as he's pressured from behind here by Zabinski. But it looks like Zabinski will get the better of him, and it'll be sent away. Here, this one's sent on net. Lombard unable to actually corral it, so with 3 minutes left to go, Walsh Jesuit still in their own zone. They're able to flip this one away. And here, falling down to the ice was Cam Mayhew, and in doing so, oh! It was given up by Kalair just once again. Should have corralled that one, but let that one go free. There's no way around it. It is not Marios Kalairgis's day. That's now 4 what we could call fluky goals. But in all honesty, it's been also mistakes made by the netminder. Unfortunate look. Shaker Heights down by 3 now. This one's sent up by Ursepke, finding Brokaw. Brokaw looking for the shot. He'll send it through the 5-hole that time of the defenseman out in front of him. Here's Brokaw once again, getting the puck on his stick. He's trying to kick it back behind him. Dylan Ursepke back in the Red Raiders side. 2:05 left to go in the third period. Banking it off the boards. It'll find Sebi Juan. Juan trying to get it back over to Brokaw, who had himself centered in the play. Unable to connect with it. Here's Juan looking for perhaps a backhand try. Covered up that time by Borcheski. Now this one will just fall to Lombard, and Lombard covers up to freeze it. Man, oh man. And now here for Shaker, we're going to get Sam Littman out there with James Schmidt and Reggie Fitzgordon. And on defense, it's going to be Graham Borstein and Lincoln Goldstein. Here the save made by Kalairgis. So all 5 guys that haven't exactly had a whole lot of minutes early on in the season, we're trying to get them some more minutes here in the late stages of this one, since the game feels just about out of reach. Littman, Fitzgordon. Fitzgordon tries to poke this one ahead. Zabinski sticking with it. And here comes the shot. Save made by Kalairgis. Walsh Jesuit laying on some pressure. Goldstein will send it forward to James Schmidt. Schmidt tries to bank it off the boards and eventually clear it. And now this one kept in. It's the first line guys out there for Walsh Jesuit. It's basically a 4th line out there for Shaker Heights. A 4th line we haven't exactly seen throughout the game. Now here we're getting the 3rd line back out there. Here comes the shot. Save made Kalairgis. Here comes that shot. That one goes wide. So Elliott Hanna with it, battling up against Dominichini. Again, all real first-line guys here for Walsh Jesuit. 15 seconds left to go. Mayhew tries to send it away for Isaac James. Now here, Gavi Lappin, who collides with Elliott Hanna. That is not a good look. And now here, a harsh hit on Lappin, just one that was incredibly unnecessary. And now Zabinski is going ahead to the box once again. Well, as if the power play could do much. There's, 6.7 seconds remaining. And they're going to have Hanna, Isaac James, Isaac Lazar out there as the forwards. On defense, Goldstein and Borstein. Up 2 minutes of power play, though 2 minutes will not be played. Now here, sent over to the far side, trying to get the shot away as Goldstein. He's got 2 seconds, and this one just covered up by Lombard, and that will take the remainder of the time off the clock. A rough game for Shaker Heights, there's no denying, though they did outplay Walsh Jesuit as a whole. So thank you very much for tuning in. Von Ullum on the call with you here. Shaker Heights, as we mentioned, outplayed them. You look at the shots attempted, 54-41 in that category to the advantage of Shaker, and shots on goal, 38-29. They won face-offs as well, 29-24. So Shaker Heights, entering into that next tournament, should still have a confident aura to themselves. Shaker Heights, going into this tournament, knew that they could beat Benedictine. After that, it would get tough, and indeed it did. Even though they outplayed Padua, they outplayed Walsh Jesuit, they just weren't able to get the victories. And here today, Shaker Heights falls to Walsh Jesuit 6-3. A rough game for Marios Kalergis. He let a couple fly through that he shouldn't have let through, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. It's just the way the day goes for some of these guys. Again, they're not pros. They're not going to have the greatest games day in, day out, and Kalergis today just had a rough one, and it's unfortunate. Hopefully that'll be more of a clean performance out of him. Moving into these tournaments down the line, of course, they're going to be playing some more tough competition. The next time we are going to see you, hopefully we'll be able to get the broadcast going on the night of the 19th. That'll be Shaker Heights against Findlay. Shaker Heights will be the road team in that one. Regardless, it'll actually be closer to Shaker Heights, as Findlay will need to take that 2-hour drive out from the Bowling Green area all the way to the Brunswick Auto Mart Arena, where we will see you next. Thank you very much for tuning in. Von Ullum on the call here. Thanks for joining me once again for the Thornton Park Tournament here in Shaker Heights, Ohio.